We have my very special guest, Dr. Hanan El-Basha. How are we this
Um,
today?
I'm fine. Thank you, Stefan. How are you?
I'm very good. You had some AC problems,
Yes,
so
I'm a bit warm during the day.
we
I
were going to be
started the morning
broadcasting from
warm.
your, as you said, we were going to be broadcasting from your son's bedroom, which would
Yes,
have been more trendy.
yes.
With his posters up on the wall, are they random or are they
Yes,
straight?
they're very random. You would have not liked it.
Ah. Hey, it's not me. It's my
Yes.
wife. I keep on saying it's my wife. Anyway, and then our special guest is Mrs. Meenu Prasad, co-director and dean of. Now, I didn't check with you before we went on the show, but is it Instituto de Monad BURGO?
All right.
Is that
So thank you so much for inviting. Let me correct. It's Istituto di Moda BURGO. Istituto, as in it's an Italian name. So in English, it's institute, and in Italian language, it's institute. So this is a problem,
Institute?
I'm facing from last 4 years with people trying to explain them that there is a silent I into it. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister.
yeah.
Anyway, we'll come back to you. Let's just read out the sponsored message. Today's sponsor is Cards in Qatar. Greeting cards for all occasions, birthday cards, anniversary cards, thank you cards, congratulations cards, and plenty more. All occasions covered. Find them on both Instagram and Facebook under the name Cards in Qatar. Check them out. Value for money, 10 reals per card or wrapping paper. So if you're new to this show, we want this show to be a positive and uplifting podcast where you can walk away feeling revitalized and ready to face another day. We also want to hear from entertainers, singers, musicians who would like to perform on the show. Please get in contact with me at stefanlindbergjones@gmail.com or message me on the Facebook message board here on the side. And finally, a big shout out to www.armyofmasks.com. Please go to their website and see how you can help this great initiative in making masks for your local community and the world. So, Meenu, lovely to have you on board.
Thank you so much.
I'm curious. Can you just give us a very brief background to the institute?
Yeah, sure. Well, Istituto di Moda BURGO is an institute which is established in 1961, way ahead in Milan, Italy. As we know, Milan is one of the fascinating fashion city of the world, I would say. And we, as the co-directors, decided that our Qatar needs another element, from Italy. So this story began like years back when it actually shot it up to me when I came here some like a 7 8 years back, and my husband is already doing a business here. He runs a IT firm. So we were sitting at other desks and we were thinking that why don't we have, you are into fashion from such a pleasing background. I used to be a lecturer, like a partial lecturer for Nottingham Trent University, which is in UK back, and I used to operate it, of course, back from my country. So it was a huge learning because there were a lot of people, experienced, talented lecturer who used to visit to back in India to train us. So I got a lot of learning out of it, and I realized that we kind of have to be a good cohesive system in education. So as you know that each curriculum, depending on different countries and different environment, the the dean or the academic people are sort of creating a sort of curriculum which goes well with the requirement of a country. So as per them, I learned a lot of systematic ways. So I realized coming here that why not, I should utilize whatever I have, and why am I sitting why am I sitting at home, and but I should really come up with something which Qatar needs it. And then as if I belong from a business family, and even my dad had a production unit back in India, and he used to manufacture with like Zara. So my trousseau and my wardrobe was, since like back in 80s, was full of lovely costumes. And they, because they used to do the production back, and he used to have a kind of like 100 people as a worker, as a tailorers under him. So they used to do it, and it's like somewhere instinct in my blood, I think. And it just arrived because I got admission in one of the top colleges back in my country, and it was like every second girl's dream. And then I think after that there was never looking back, because I was very enthusiastic, and it really lead me up with a lot of dreams in future. So I work with a lot of people back, like for example, when we listen like Galleries Lafayette, which is recently been launched here in Qatar. So years back, I used to work for them, and when I was stepping inside, I was like, okay, this is it. So this is what is awaited for Qatar. And I used to work for a buying house basically in Paris. So I used to work for them, since they used to cater a lot of, how buying houses work in back in Europe. So each street is having lots of buying houses, and that's how they used to do the selection of garments and then keep it in a particular store. So these kind of industrial experience, and then later I realized that I'm very good at my knowledge, and why don't I try out my luck, teaching students.
Yeah.
So then I just went and I gave the interview for one of the international fashion schools back in India. And then I think after that there was never looking back, because I used to be indulged with Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises, which is called MSME back in India, and which is under Ministry of Textile, because my college was also under the Ministry of Textile. As I mentioned earlier, it was one of the like attempting college of the whole country. So uh, I did some projects where I used to teach the budding entrepreneur, like a people who are under the poverty, they cannot afford to do so. Like I was trying to help them out to make their small entrepreneurs, and make their small I can make them up with that fashion skill, and at least the tailoring part or something, where they can start their small scale businesses to survive back in India. So that project was actually undertaken by MSME in India, and I worked for over more than 2 years with them and trained like a lot of women. So you can imagine my situation. Just a 24-year girl was trying to, teach people who were like, it was my pleasure indeed to work with them. And in such a small age, in 24 years, I realized that, I think this is it. This is something which is meant for me. I have to be in teaching. Why am I be sitting as a designer in one of the firm? And then later on, then it moved on with Paris and brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Debenhams. Debenhams is still here. And then I worked for Tommy Hilfiger, and there were a lot of brands back to back working with them. And then, as I said, my last profile was back for the UK. So later I got married and I had to come here. So you have to really find out your way out here. So what you have to do exactly? And in this
So,
voluptuous
so
country, I had to.
how did you get involved with the institute? How did that partnership
Sorry.
happen? How did the institute come around?
Yes, so that's what. It's a very interesting story. In fact, I have given this story to so many people. They started printing it out. I don't know how, but I see, and I feel okay. Wow, this is so great. So just that I realized that there was no fashion school except VCU, which is under, of course, our Hyoannis Sheikha Moza, which is under, a government body here. And I realized that, okay, and then what about the ladies who wanted to be a designers, and they dreamt and they somehow could not able to do it, and they have their children and so-called responsibility. So I had to kind of bring something, which is universal, can go to anybody. And I started researching. It was a deep research to find out something in Europe. Somehow, my husband's link helped me, because his some of his family members are settled there back. So kind of it helped me a lot. So then I realized that I had to choose something which is easy to go, and especially the locals, the Qatari girls. You know that there are very limited seats in VCU. Like it's just like around I think 25 or something in
Okay.
fashion design.
Yeah.
So then where are my rest students? And then what if their parents are not easy to send them out for UK and London and XYZ? So there has to be something. So fortunately, I really decided that I have to bring this at any cost. And then the whole story started up, and then there were a lot of partners and board members and lots of things. It was never looking back, and now it's been 4 years for the school. I'm trying to do whatever I can to, make it, right now it's such a pandemic situation where we have to go online, and the course
All right. All
demands.
right. You're going to do the whole show without me even saying a word. Wait,
Yeah.
Meenu. But so congratulations. So 4 years in the making, 4 years of operation. Um, one thing that you did mention that stood out for me was Nottingham Trent University. So that was a partnership, was it? That was so you were training, you were
Yeah,
learning
actually,
from them remotely.
yeah, I was working remotely with them back in India, and I attended lot of trainings from them. They used to do the trainings and seminar back in India, that how our system works and how is the grading and how
So so
we
you
sort
never
of do.
so you never went to Nottingham.
Yeah, well, it was only once I went there, and after that, I didn't got a chance because I was sort of busy with a lot of other things there in India. There were a lot of responsibility back on my head, so uh, there were
No,
many times they called me.
I lived there for 8 years. So what was your impression of Nottingham? I'm just curious.
It was just for 2 days I was there.
Oh,
Just
just 2 days.
not
Okay.
much, not
Okay.
much.
Look, so that was going to be one of my questions was the fact that I wanted to talk about the crisis is how do you see this crisis affecting fashion in general? Do you think there's going to be a change in the fashion world?
Definitely, there will be. As you know, it's a very fast-moving fashion. Earlier, if we compare, and now it's sort of like a slow fashion. You will see shortly. There will be a lot of sustainable clothing on board, and then there will be a lot of eco-friendly fashion products and accessories. And I feel there will be a lot of handmade things will be stressed in future. I feel because mass production is something which will definitely hit back because people are not shopping that much now, and the sources are very limited now, and I hope that things will turn out good in future, because we have to think one thing, that everything has positive and negative. So I still want to take this situation as a positive thing, because
Good.
this
Yeah.
has this has really opened the doors for a lot of new categories in fashion. So I don't want to see the negative part. I really wanted to just see the positive part and move on with the flow right now. But yeah, I feel that the scenario will be little flip, and you would see more of a slow fashion.
Great. And you as an institute, how are you going to adapt? And how have you adapted? Because obviously you can't have people coming in for classes. Have you had to move online?
Yeah,
How's it
we have
work?
all. Yeah, absolutely. We already moved on to online, and there were a lot of criticism also faced initially. Like, it's been now 2 months. In mid of March, we went to online, and there was a little criticism because our course demands 80% of practical and 20% of theoretical expect in fashion.
Yeah.
So to make it like a approved version of learning, or sort of accepted, my student did took a time, because it's a challenging thing. It's a double work for the teachers and the staff, because when you are doing a practical face to face is a different story, and when you are making a videos and referrals and then sending them is a different story.
Yeah.
So initially it was little tough for them, but now it's been now, I think, more than 1.5 month. We are trying to send the regular emails, minutes of meeting, that is mom. They need to understand what is happening in each meeting, if in case someone is not able to attend sort of Skype or Zoom meetings. Then good part of this is that I could able to connect with a lot of people these days. I'm trying to bring people like from expert people from like Iran, Egypt, and Italy, and even our headquarters. They've been very, very nice and supportive.
Yeah.
Even the teachers back in headquarters are ready to come online and help us wherever we need them. So I feel that it is a little challenging situation, but I think now it's we are kind of coming into a proper acceptance. So as I mentioned earlier, initially there were a lot of students who were not happy about it, and I'm being honest about it. And it's not an economics or like a sociology lecture. It's more about practical. It's
Yeah.
more about doing the doing the drafting, and then making the garment into the realistic mode, doing the swing classes. I'm not saying that there is not theoretical. Of course we do learn a theoretical part, but practical weighs a lot of percentage in this course. So that is the reason. But now I think they have accepted it, because they can realize that I'm trying to connect lots of people. So every time when I'm scheduling the Zoom meetings, they're coming and they are kind of attaching with different faces, different experts. And recently, for example, I'm sure you know Liha. Liha has just come, the founder of Just Wow. She's been connected to me. Elizabeth Reyes is connected to me. Some good bloggers are there, international bloggers are there who are trying to connect with us. So we're trying to sort of arrange some online workshops for them. So it's a kind of exciting module now. And as I
Hmm.
said, that challenges are due there, but we are trying to cope up for now, and things
Excellent.
are under control now.
Okay. And
That's it.
when this is all over, will you guys change as well, or will you go back to the way it was?
As I said, see, everything has a positive and negatives. Now, in this scenario, we all, usually there are online courses. I never say that there are not online courses
Yeah.
available,
No, exactly.
but we were not that much bothered, because when it comes to fashion, the whole eyes are wanting to understand, okay, a lot of exciting exciting products in front of your eyes, and costumes and designer stuff and all that comes to your view. But then uh, when it comes to doing something online, it's as a fashion person, my eyes will not go to that section, and I would rather avoid it to go off like online stuff in
Yeah.
fashion,
Yeah.
except the fact if it is in journal topic like blogging, or making a brand, or something which is more theoretical aspect, maybe then I'm interested to sort of go for online. But when it comes to a practical application like creating a whole dress or creating a whole costume, of course you are not that much attempted towards that particular version.
No.
So yeah, but it has taught me a lot of things. As I said, now I'm too much used to Zoom. Every day starts with Zoom, Skype, live
I think
chat, this and
I
that.
think everyone's household is a Zoom call
So
once a day. I think we're
absolutely.
all across it.
Yeah, and then secondly, it has kind of realized me one fact that now I can understand that, if I cannot bring people here due to visa issues or some issues, every country has their restrictions and ups and downs. At
Absolutely.
least I can connect them on online and have an online classroom setup, so
Yeah.
that at least if they are you want to give the best to your students as a manager. So I
Yeah.
want to try to sort of give them all kind of knowledges. So in case now if someone is unable to travel, we can connect them online, and the class will still go on. So this is
Excellent.
one thing I learned about it. And then secondly, I realized that it's not a bad thing to be online. I mean, it's fine. We are in the 21st century. It's very fast life, so we
Absolutely.
have to kind of accept it.
Yeah.
And
Dr. Hannan,
Yes.
what's your experience in fashion, and is there any tips that you can give Meenu, or is she ticking every box?
I believe she is. No, I had a couple of clients who were aspiring startups in the fashion industry. So I might have actually heard of your institute through them because they were interested in the design. I think they've done an excellent job of adapting to going online. I'm just curious, actually, I was going to ask you, because with fashion and with tailoring and stuff, you need equipment. Have you leased out or rented out or um, I don't know, helped out the ladies at home by giving them sewing machines or mannequins or something like that?
it is my whole empty. My whole academy is right now empty. I have given all the stuff to students.
Yeah, that's
All.
what I thought.
I
Yeah,
said, what I will gonna do with this? Will they dance in the academy? They need to be given to the students. And I said, just take it. So
Yeah.
they sort of, they sort of given in a way that we told them that you can just take it, and once things are okay and we are back to the life, you can just return them back.
yeah,
So they have taken, and most of them have taken till now. And even my house is full of stuff. I mean, I do a lot of things. So my house is full of mannequins and this and that. So I have sort of made one corner for my house, and my husband is like, "Okay, now this is it." So I said, "Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I
it."
bet. I bet he doesn't dare say anything. I bet he's kept quiet.
no, but
No, he just
it is about the adaptability. I mean, that's exactly what you're doing. Fashion industry, especially, it's about the not only looking, but it's about doing. So there's a lot of hands-on experience that needs to be passed on from one instructor to the student. But as you said, there are many ways to work around it. Maybe yes, you can integrate. Then you'll have the flexibility of having a kind of a hybrid program once this even goes on, because a lot of, as you said, the women who want to go into this business have families, have commitments, and thus cannot commit to long hours. and the drive and all of that. So definitely that is a way that we have been talking since day one, Stefan and myself, about seeing the positive view and the opportunity within, these times of uncertainty. And I think you're doing a great job just
Thank you.
expanding your horizon and business model accordingly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank
Hats
you
off to
so
you,
much.
Meenu. I'd like to ask a question about the fashion industry with technology. Is that changing the way we experience fashion? Are we going to see a change in the way we view fashion, we buy fashion? Are we going to go less to the department store and be more buying online, or are we still needing that, as you say, the feel, the touch, even just when we're buying garments?
Yeah, certainly. I feel that yes, the online will bang now in the market. Of course, it has to bang because we will get sort of used to it from past 6 months, and towards that, the situation is like that. That it we have to accept it that it will going to end towards until the vaccine is not there. It might take months and months. So you have to sort of rely on online. And interesting fact is that there are some students who want to start online business only. For them it's very good idea. They were very happy about it. And we have another set of students supposed to be start after Ramadan, and they
Mm,
are very excited. I mean, those are 12th grader students, and they are coming for an elaborate version of a course, like a 2-year proper extended diplomas. And they are very excited because you can understand they are different from our regular women who are coming. They are 12th graders, and they have a total excitement level high, and they think that okay, now we are starting our career with this. So their perspective is little different than the regular women who are coming, because their responsibilities and their responsibilities are two different levels. So I still feel that yeah, I'm not saying that we will completely go online. It's a designer position. Until you don't feel a fabric, you don't get a feeling.
no,
So
exactly.
this is something which will be missed throughout the months. But yeah, online will be, I feel yes, the coverage will be around 70%. Yeah, 70% would be online now, because you have no choice left.
Mm,
So yeah, it will gonna affect a lot digitally. The digital world, yeah. The best part is that the lack of awareness of digital world, which was not there. Now the world is understanding that this is too much fast, and we have to kind of support it and move ahead with this. So
absolutely.
this is the thing I feel. Yeah, there will be a changes, gradual changes you will see in the market.
Yeah, and you mentioned about sourcing more eco friendly materials. Has there been an effect with this pandemic with sourcing types of material?
Yes, actually, luckily we have a small stationery running in house. So now all my cupboards are getting empty. The small
Yeah,
stationery which we kept it inside to help students, specifically the muslin fabric, which is like a cotton fabric, which we usually intend to do the test fittings of the garments, whatever design we do.
yeah,
So, but now I think I have to find out a way. So what I did, I just tried to connect with 3-4 companies here who are still doing the home delivery of fabrics and all that. So I'm trying to connect with them and kind of collaborate with them so that they can just deliver the fabrics to the students directly.
superb.
So maybe when they are directly connecting to them, maybe they are not really getting a sort of student discount or something. So we as an institution is trying to connect with them, and then through our passage they are getting a discount and they can get the fabrics. So
Hmm.
I still do have like a 3 to 4 companies in my hand right now, to whom I'm trying to talk. There are a lot of safety issues and a lot of things right now. We have to be very precautionary about everything. So I just want them to stay at home and then study. So yeah, we are trying to connect and trying to help them in that.
Great. Have you seen an increase in people interested in joining your institute because they've now,
Yes.
they're at this point in time where they've got more time on their hands to think about their future career and maybe want to change their career?
See, as I mentioned when I initially started talking, that it is a challenging thing. You might get some disappointments also in the middle. Maybe some want to really go out of the course. You have to understand this. This is very practical answer I'm giving, and I'm really ready to face this challenge. We know the probability already. As a management, we had a meeting and we knew it. that we have to be really prepared for the future in coming few months.
Yeah.
But but just because of one or two dropouts, I don't want to ruin others system of studying, so I really don't want to give a weightage on that thing. It's up to them. If they are very much happy, willing, they can continue, otherwise they can leave, and they can continue once academy is functional properly. But beyond this, I think 90% of the students are really supporting us. I'm very thankful to all the students if they are listening me, and they're trying to kind of follow all the online classes and trying to do whatever they can. And we have kept regular meetings, so what I'm doing, every Monday to Monday we are having a journal meetings, so as to keep up the space of curriculum. And as I'm the dean academics also, so a dean is someone who wants to see the flow of academics going on time, and the curriculum is delivered in a rice and vice manner. All topics are covered, so I have to be really kind of keeping a check on all these points also.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said that the challenges are there, and we are very much ready with the strategies. And I know that in few months when people will accept it, there will be lots of intake. And right now, I think last week I have done a very fantastic webinar. They were like around 15 students, and some of them from Qatar University, and then some of them from in journal schools and all that. So it was very interesting webinar for me, because I realized that there is still a movement in this course, and people still have an interest in this course.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, and they were very curious to ask questions from me when we had a question and answer round. And they were still willing to willing to join the course. And especially the 12th graders, you have to understand their psychology right now. A 12th grader's psychology will be definitely different from someone who has a responsibility on the shoulders.
Mm.
So we have to understand each student's psychology also, what
Absolutely.
they're going through.
Can I ask, your institute, is it only open for women?
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting question, because this question we are trying to attempt and answer every day on phone.
I know. What about the poor men?
Well, 90% are women's, but men's are welcome. We have currently two male,
Okay.
and we have mentioned in the class, if the Qatari women's are not comfortable, we have like a sort of separated them class, and rest are like a co-ed. So rest can be like co-ed sessions, but the ladies who are not comfortable with, we try to keep them in a separate batch.
Okay.
I had to keep a balance.
Absolutely.
I have
No,
a
very good.
question
Yes,
based on that.
Hanan, Dr. Hanan.
I was going to ask, so your diploma or your program, that is, it is being given to you by the institute in Milan, the whole
Yes,
structure.
we
And
are
how
running.
long usually is it? So if a lady is interested, do you have different formats, or is it just one that
Yeah,
you?
Dr. Hanan, actually, see, they have already more than 15 centers all across the world.
Okay,
And each center has done some changes up and down according to the requirement of their country. Of course, we have to morph the curriculum according to the need of the country.
of course.
For example, this country needs a little history and little tit and tat on Arab costume making.
Yes.
So I had to sort of lot of brainstorm onto the curriculum, adding this element, in the course. Because if the people, like especially the locals, are coming, they would ask me, what about the abayas and jalbiyas?
Abaya, of course. Yeah.
So I had to do the polishing and putting these kind of curriculum inside it and kind of camouflage it, and then I had to take approval from them, because they had to know what I'm doing here.
Of course.
So they were very much okay with them, with the curriculum we added little bit, but otherwise all the guidelines and everything we are like getting from them, because we are a franchisee from them. And
Yes. So
the
that's,
franchisee structure is absolutely the same they are running as a headquarter.
so
So
how long is the certificate or the diploma usually?
actually, yeah, Dr. Hanan, actually, there are two different modules. Now, we have a intensive and normal. Now, intensive diploma means 1 year, which is a
Okay.
little fast courser, and
Yeah.
2 year is a normal, like for any 12th grader. So,
Okay.
1 year is like for all the ladies who wanted to start the business and they don't want to have a half knowledge, sort of, they want to have a little polish about, a brief about how the industry works, so they can very much join. And let me tell you, like a 70% of them are like such students in my school, who are very who are like a true aspirant of starting their small entrepreneurs or their labels or their fashion houses. Apparently, I used to tell students that there are very less production units in Qatar, And I think 2 years back I've given my interview with Qatar Today, and even in that magazine also I have mentioned them that the idea is to train people, to make them aware what they are selling in the market. It's not like that you are just cutting, chopping and making a baya. They need to know how this abaya came into the vision of traditional costume, how the cuts are there. And nowadays it's so much of upgradation in the designing. Every day you could see a lot of variations in abaya. It's no more like a traditional abaya.
Mm.
So there are a lot of things which I feel they need to understand. And apart from that, they need to understand the English fashion in my language. English fashion, as in, they need to understand in general, what is the difference between a formal wear, informal wear, what are the different categories. Like, for example, what will be the wedding outfit. Now, in wedding outfit, different countries has different wedding outfit, so as their traditions are different. So there are a lot of things to learn in one course, but we try to give whatever we can possibly. And I'm really not restricted to the curriculum. We try to give more than what we have. And as a faculty, as a lecturer, our job is to give them the best we can. We are trying to give them the best referrals. We are trying to give them, like, for example, I'll mention WGS. And now there were one Qatari who came to me. It's a simple small instance I would like to share. So she came to me and she said, "Oh, I really want you to be a designer, but I'm already running my fashion line." You listen to that. "I'm already running my fashion line." I said, "Oh, that's amazing. I would like to see." So she could have sent a lot of. So I just simply asked her, "Okay, can you really tell me what is haute couture in your language?" And I didn't get any answer properly. So I was like, okay, so here it goes. You really need to study here so that you can use that knowledge to upgrade your section of, line, whatever you're creating. So I feel the whole Qatar needs to have a lot of knowledge, because it's not just cutting and making anything whatever they like. It's I think we designers have a lot of things to do. We can't make a collection like sitting at home and doing anything. We have a lot of aspiration theme. And then another question I ask her: do you know what are the seasonal colors? So like spring summer is there, and then we have autumn winter, and then we have winter collection, and each season has their color, right, which is trending on. So there is an American forecasting website which is called WGSN, which I personally want to refer everybody that you must follow them, because they have the best experts all across the world, and they do intense research. And forecasting means you're forecasting for 2021 into 2020, so 1 year ahead you are planning everything. So I feel that you can't just make anything. You would need to do a lot of research, and
Absolutely.
research is the base for any designer.
Yeah. Meenu, we've actually come to the end of the show. If anyone's interested in going into the fashion industry and signing up to one of your courses, how do they find you?
Sorry.
If anyone wants to sign up to one of your courses, how do they find you?
Yes, well, they can approach us through the social media channels. They can go to our official website, which is called www.imbqatar.com. And when they go, there is a proper form they can fill, and we will get the automatic or auto-generated request form. And then it will be further emailed back to them with the information, whatever course detail they need. And one more suggestion, if people are listening me, that you need to read out all the curriculum first, because there is a lot of confusion. People come up to us that what is the difference between fashion stylist and fashion designing, or I can just take anything. No, you really need to read the curriculum properly.
Yeah.
There are all the details back in the website. And once you are decided, because they ask me, in the emails, very weird questions are coming to us: how does the course got? So we need to understand which course you're asking us.
Yeah.
We can't just assume which course. So I suggest everybody who is listening me that please do a little research on the website, what is available with us. And after you read everything, and then you can ask your question through the auto generated form, which is there very much. And beyond this, if you can't feel like comfort zone on that, then they can go back to our Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat ideas, where they can get the counselor numbers, and they can directly call the counselors, and they can take an appointment to visit the school. Not now, but in future.
No, exactly. Well, thank you, Meenu, for being a star on the show,
Thank
for
you
giving
so
us
much.
a lovely insight into the fashion industry and your institute. Thank you, Dr. Hanan, for being
Thank you, Stefan.
you, as always. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Dave Moore,
Thank
for
you.
watching. Have
Thank
a
you
great
so much.
day.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Hanan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very
All the